Well, before her breakthrough performance in the unbelievably popular Good Morning Miss Bliss, Hayley Mills got her start with Disney in the classic film The Parent Trap. The story? Two identical twin girls are separated at birth but then coincidentally meet up at a summer camp. At first they're offended that the other dare look like the other one, and they try playing practical jokes on each other. But after a while, they start to talk to each other more and identify with one another, and find out that they're actually sisters. So they decide to step things up a bit and switch places. One daughter finally meeting her father for the first time, and the other finally meeting her mother for the first time. Eventually it's revealed what happened, and the mother and the father get together and try to decide what to do. While that's going on, the girls try to set a trap, a parent trap, if you will, to try and get them back together. This is especially tricky seeing how the father is marrying another woman, who of course is a stick in the mud who never knows how to have fun and always needs her comeuppance to be given to her by, well, our two main heroes. This is definitely not a movie like Darby O'Gill or Davy Crockett where there's big adventures or anything like that. It's a much smaller kind of story. And as smaller stories go, it's okay. It kept my interest, I wanted to know what was gonna happen, and at the time the split screen technology was unbelievable, but now it's kind of obvious. Really the focus of the movie is on Hayley Mills, who does a great job as both girls. And what makes it so good is that you know distinctly their personalities and which one is which, but it's never overplayed. It's not like one is super mean and super harsh and the other is like a complete angel. They're both still real girls with real problems and, well, real personalities. And that's tough to do for a child actor. And she pulls it off really well. I'm personally never a fan of those romantic comedies where they're gonna marry the snob and you know they shouldn't be together and they go back and forth whether or not the couple you know is gonna get together is really gonna get together. It drives me nuts. I think that's partially why I like the first half of this movie much more than I like the second half, where it actually is focusing on getting the parents together. The father and mother do make a good couple, it's just, oh, why do we have to have that cliched character there? At least to this movie's credit, this was done long before this was repeated over and over in, say, Wedding Crashers and other romantic comedies. So I guess you can give it a little leeway there too. On the whole, I see the movie as kind of a cute waste of time. There's nothing of that much value to it, but there's nothing I feel like I've really lost. It just kind of is what it is, a cute little movie about two girls who look alike and turned out are sisters. They share their emotions, do girly things, get in trouble and mishaps, and it's fine for what it is. It's just not a film I'm gonna be watching over and over and over because I like it so much. But once wasn't bad, I just think that's all I need. If you got the time and you just want to see a charming little film with a charming little child actress, this isn't a bad one to check out.
The Parent Trap.
Well, just like I said before, anytime there's a sequel or a remake, I do a fast little review of it. So this is my fast little review of The Parent Trap remake. This was of course one of the major introductions of Lindsay Lohan, and one of the big films that turned her into a huge star. And yes, I know there's a lot of jokes you can make about her, what happened to her childhood, she used to be so cute, blah 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 blah, but taking all that aside, let's just look at the performance as it is. It's still a really good performance. In my opinion, she's just as good as Hayley Mills. The technology has really been updated too. This time they can actually touch each other and not have to be at opposite sides of the screen and, you know, all those obvious tricks. The funny thing about this movie though is unlike other remakes, instead of changing too much, I don't think they change enough. It's still the exact same story. They meet at camp, they switch places, then the parents find out, and then they have to get rid of the really snooty wife that he's gonna marry. It's just like, why? We know the faults of the first film. Why didn't they just get rid of this character? The film is so similar in design and its setup, I kind of wonder why it even needed to be remade. Was it just to update the technology to tell a story that they thought was already perfect? Did they just think Lindsay Lohan was too friggin' adorable and they had to give her her own movie? A movie where you could have two of her, she's that friggin' adorable? I don't know the reason, but as a flick, it's, again, okay. It's about as good as the first one. In my opinion, you could see either of these and probably get the exact same reaction. They both have a charming couple, they both have a good child actress. I say the only real upgrade is the technology, in that the effects are so much better. So, take it for what it's worth. I know, it's weird. It's very strange I come across a film where I have almost the exact same opinion of them, but that's kind of what I got here. I guess it just comes from I was never that invested in the original story, at least enough to care a whole great deal about it, and, well, yeah, it's kind of the same thing here. Which isn't bad, it's fine. It's just for me, it's nothing that spectacular. You go to see some neat effects and a good child actress, that's about it. And if that's what you're looking for, this one's a fine one to check out. Rent both, compare the two, and see for yourself.